PLA is definitely not going to be stopped by Taiwan flag hashtags on Twitter or X. And that's what a lot of people seem to think. Xi Jinping, that guy is, whether or not Joe Biden is a realist or Xi Jinping is definitely a realist. And he is preparing for a large-scale military assault against the island. And it will be surprising because if they do it, they don't want to give us warning. So you have to be prepared and we have to be prepared. We need to be incredibly hard-minded. And what I see from Taiwan's leadership, there was another article in the Wall Street Journal that reflected discussions with senior Taiwan leadership. Same kind of point of view is, my response and a lot of Americans, what planet are they living on Taiwan? There is a country with 1.4 billion people that is run by a ruthless communist dictator who has a death wish for you. And you're telling me that we should prioritize Ukraine? Well, I guess these people aren't very serious. And distracting the United States in another theater. And the problem is that the United States is not what it was in 1999, economically, militarily. 30 to 40% of our attack submarines, which are absolutely essential for a defense of Taiwan, are in maintenance at any given time. We spend almost $1 trillion and we can't produce artillery ammunition as well as the Russians can. So we can't do everything and we have to make choices. My argument is we should make choices for Taiwan's defense, not because I'm out of favor to you, but because I think that's the most in our own interest. And so it's very difficult when I present that argument to help Taiwan by saying we should give Taiwan weapons first. We should give Taiwan attention to the defense industrial base first. We should give Taiwan money first. And then I have the Taiwanese government saying, oh, no, you should support Ukraine. The number one argument I get when I'm trying to help Taiwan defend itself from a Chinese invasion that Xi Jinping is not even denying they're planning is to hear from the government in Taipei that they have a different view. Well, and it also suggests something about the resolve of the people on Taiwan. And I want to stress that the American people are very tired of war. We've made a lot of mistakes, so I'm not saying that we're right about everything. But Americans, including Republicans, are not in an interventionist mood, and fighting a war with China is a big deal. So Taiwanese need to show Americans that they're serious in order to enlist American help. The expression, God helps those who help themselves. America will help those who help themselves.
And that's the question of, defense preparedness. The Pentagon, in particular, the Secretary of Defense, Austin, has described the Indo-Pacific as its priority theater. But of course, what's been in the media a lot recently has been the conflict in Europe, as well as the conflict raging in the Middle East. To what extent do these conflicts impact defense preparedness in the Indo-Pacific?
Up to this year, where most of the employment of weapons were really artillery pieces and short-range weapons, I had said not at all. But now with some of the Patriots that have been employed, some of the air-to-air missiles that have been employed, it's now eating into stocks. And to say otherwise would be dishonest.
Eating into whose stocks?
Into the stocks of the United States of America.
And
the high-end capability of the United States of America. And if there are X inventory of the United States of America, which is fungible across all theaters in the United States of America, that can be applied equally across any contingency across America, none are reserved for any particular theater, but any can move with alacrity to any theater. Inherently, it imposes costs on the readiness of America to respond in the Indo-Pacific region, which is the most stressing theater for the quantity and quality of munitions, because the PRC is the most capable potential adversary in the world.
So should Taiwan be concerned, for instance? I mean, there was talk about how support for Ukraine was diverting weapons from Taiwan. Is this a concern to you?
When you say concerned, should it keep them up at night? We should replenish those stocks and then some. I was already dissatisfied with the magazine depth. I'm a little more dissatisfied with the magazine depth. It's a time for straight talk.
Thank you. Mike, please.
And thank you for talking again about Taiwan.